This is our fourth year hosting the Storyfest Awards. We've gotten entries from students all over the world, more than 200 contributions this year. We had 36 finalists in 6 categories. Our categories, we encourage students to do stories in energy, food, climate, water, biodiversity, and the built environment. Our categories, as you will hear here shortly, involve certain key traits. Best storytelling around character, best storytelling around science and data, best storytelling, yipes, best storytelling around an innovative idea. Our judges, and some of whom are with us today, were all independent. They have nothing to do with Planet Forward. We had no influence. We asked to have no influence. We couldn't on this process because we had students, some of whom we knew, and so this was blind judging. From M.J. Altman, who's the editorial director at World Food Program USA. Jeffrey Blunt, who's an Emmy Award-winning television director, who directed Meet the Press and NBC Nightly News. Brian Dockstader, who's a director of digital innovation for the Sierra Club. Larry Evans, I see Larry there. Hello, Larry. Larry is a retired managing editor for environmental news at Bloomberg BNA. Mark Fischetti, who's a senior editor at Scientific American. And Sarah Snyder, who's the senior social video producer at Bon Appetit. All right? So to our judges, thank you all very, very much. I'd like to bring down the person who makes this possible, Sven Lindblad, who's the CEO of Lindblad Expeditions, a great friend of Planet Forward, and who has generously, unbelievably generously, shared both his time and his generosity with us aboard ship. Sven, come on out. You met Sven over lunch yesterday, many of you. So Sven, why the award? Why did you offer and make this incredible thing possible to go to Alaska and sail aboard the National Geographic Sea Lion this summer?
It was a martini.
We keep coming back to that, Betty.
No, it was funny. The communications director for National Geographic for many, many years, Betty Hudson, sent me an email about this idea and asked if I would be interested, and I was immediately captivated by the idea, and we met, and we, I think, agreed that this would be a good thing to support more or less instantly.
And just tell people what will be happening aboard the Sea Lion, where these students will go.
Okay, so the students will go on it's a small ship, it's a 60-passenger ship, and they will go from, or we will go, I'm going to try and come with you, from yes. Juneau to Sitka. And every day you'll be exploring different aspects of this area, photographing, hiking, kayaking, maybe paddleboarding. There'll be scientists aboard, there'll be naturalists, people who are extremely expert in training for photography. You can learn about navigation, so there'll be access to just all of this intellectual content and this absolutely beautiful part of our world.
I'd like to ask...
And you'll get fed well.
That's not bad. I'd like to ask Dr. Imani Cheers to join us on stage, because Imani's also joining us in Alaska. And Imani, what will you be teaching? What in your area of expertise and the way you've worked with students when you've traveled to Belize and Africa and taught them and worked with them as they storytell, what will you be most focused on?
Character development.
Character development.
It's going to be super important.
Can we interview the whale?
But the scientists, I think what we saw from Anand Varma's presentation this morning, acknowledging that we are content creators, we are storytellers, but we're not scientists. So wanting to make sure that we identify the scientists that are on board, utilize them, the experts. I'm always about find and interview an expert and utilize them to help us explain some complex issues, but then some probably not so complex issues when you think about some of the things that are happening in these different biodiversities and habitats.
And then we'll take these stories that are produced aboard ship.
Yeah.
And we will put them up on planetforward.org.
You will create packages, absolutely.
And show them off here next year as well.
Yeah, share them through social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited about this.
And then maybe some of you guys will want to come and work with us.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
a possibility.
Now,
if you are hiring, you shouldn't have said that because
that requires a follow-up. Now, what exactly would working with you involve, Sam?
Well, we have writers, we have photographers, we have people, naturally, people who work on the ships. We have lots of different crew positions. You could be a captain if you want, provided you know what you're doing.
It's important.
And it's kind of, you're based, the offices are all in Newark, New Jersey, is that right?
Newark, New Jersey. New York, New York.
Oh, New York,
Yes.
New York. But is that where they would work, or would they work aboard ship?
Well, they could work aboard ship, or they could work in New York, or we have an office in Seattle.
Okay, so you got that. All right.
So
So
you
where are our envelopes
wherever.
here?
I have envelopes.
You have the envelopes.
By the way, that Anand that's the second time I've heard him speak. He's just amazing. huh?
Amazing.
What do you think
Just
of that?
amazing.
Isn't that just the most astonishing thing?
He's such a great communicator and so inventive. It was great. to
Okay,
see
so
him.
Imani and I are going to take turns announcing the categories. So, excuse me. So,
Sorry.
and you're going to see a wonderfully edited clip here that will capture summaries of the finalists in this category. The first category is most compelling character. The story of a character or characters told in a compelling way, which is one of the key elements to a great story, as we have told you over and over and as you have seen. So, the nominees for most compelling character are... Hello?
The finalists for Most Compelling Character for Storyfest 2018 are Renewable Juneau, One Phone Call at a Time by Megan Banky, Florida State University. I take inspiration from the people in my hometown who have a vision of a fossil fuel-free future and who have the guts to work and make the phone calls and spread the conviction that will make it happen. Tutors for a Farming Illiterate Society by Chandra Furtado, the George Washington University.
Because a lot of times it's not really how much food you grow per acre, but what's more importantly is how much nutrition you can grow per acre.
The Fight for El Oro by Elizabeth Hazier, the George Washington University.
Me enamoré demasiado de esto, incluso yo me olvido de mi casa y por defender esto.
Environmentalist Breaks Convention with Comedy by Peter Jurich, University of Wisconsin-Madison. Humor is a bonding agent. It brings loved ones and strangers closer together simply through the shared experiences of laughter. Talking about climate change at a Redneck Fishing Tournament by Austin Keating and Becca Fanning, Northwestern University.
Everybody leaves a carbon footprint. It just depends on what it is, you know. At the level that we are here, I don't know if there's anything necessarily we can do about it.
Bringing the topic of climate change to Arkansas by Samantha DeFoya, University of Arkansas.
What do you think about climate change? Do you think it's real?
Well, I know it is.
Okay, good.
There you have it, most compelling characters.
So it's time
Sven
to go.
has the envelope.
Wow, this is like the Academy Awards.
And the winner is?
And the winner is Chandra Furtado.
DW.
George Washington University. Where's Chandra? Come on down. So, Chandra, we're going to get your picture now.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's great. That's great.
Here you go. That's yours. All right.
Oh, take a picture.
Where's our photographer? There we are. All right.
Did I pronounce that correctly? Are you Portuguese, Becca?
Chandra, I'm going to get the mic. Hang on one
God.
second. Where'd my mic go? Do I have that
That's all
handheld mic? What did I do with that? All right.
Okay, help me.
What do you want to do with that?
Chandra, you come over here for just one second. Just, there we go. Thank you. Very quickly, tell us about the story you did.
The story I did was about UDC, the University of District of Columbia. They have a program that they're trying to implement urban food hubs in the district, and it's basically trying to eliminate food deserts.
Very good. Congratulations. All right, if you sit over here, we're going to bring the... Oh, there you go. That's yours.
Okay.
All right. You get to do the next category.
Oh,
and give
okay.
Sven the envelope, and that's yours.
Okay, thank you. There you go. So, storytelling is our next prize. And this goes to the story that most creatively tells environmental issues, either through a media format or a specific storytelling technique. So, the nominees for most creativity are...
The finalists for the most creativity for Storyfest 2018 are The Life of a Water Bottle by Nancy Etro, Eckerd College. We've been shellfish enough already. It's time to take care of the Chesapeake Bay by Ashley Gallagher and Jordan Mullaney, the George Washington University.
This is Ollie. Ollie is an oyster from the Chesapeake Bay. Imagine your soul being eaten, but your body saved, then having inserted you new life to regenerate and repopulate your own little world. That's Ollie's existence. This is his story.
New Words to Talk About the Future. Lone Words to Live With by Elaine Johnson, Yale NUS College. We must stretch ourselves beyond the limits of the Anglosphere to incorporate multiculturalism and multilingualism in understanding how we talk about our relationship with the earth and our connection to future generations. Go Vegan by C.J. Kep, University of Wisconsin-Madison.
I gain more vegan points the longer I can go without consuming anything that casts a shadow. Like, I'm obsessed with artisanal light bulbs, and I am physically incapable of going a single day without avocado toast. Like, if I look at an animal, I'm not even looking at the animal.
Changing Minds in the Age of Changing Climate by Nivea Pathamsetti, University of California, Berkeley. People can read information in words and numbers, but stories are what stick with them. Solarpunk, Sustainability's Never Looked Better by Janet Rogers, SUNY ESF.
Solarpunk is an aspirational mindset. It looks at the ecological problems the world is facing and paints a picture of what we have to look forward to if we commit to resolving them. It acknowledges that these solutions aren't possible within current political and social structures.
Okay, most creative. Sven.
All right. There's a lot of creative stuff there. Why does there always have to be a winner and a loser?
Yeah.
Or most creative is a tie.
Oh.
Yes. Ooh.
So who? Okay.
So you got
Nivea Pathamsetti.
Berkeley?
UC Berkeley.
And wait.
Ashley Gallagher and Jordan.
And Ashley Gallagher and Jordan Mullaney.
GW.
Shellfish long enough.
Shellfish long enough.
A tie.
Congratulations.
Jordan.
Yep.
Ashley.
Hey there.
Congratulations. There they are. All right. Tie. Wow. Okay. There you go. There you go. Picture time. All right. In the middle.
Is Jordan here?
Where's Jordan?
Is Jordan?
Jordan? Jordan was here, yeah.
He'll find out.
All right. Let's get you in the middle.
Jordan was not optimistic.
Jordan, I guess. Over there. Awesome. Let me grab the mic for a quick second. Where's the mic? Flip. All right. Tell us about your story.
So there's an interactive artist that teaches at our College of Design at Berkeley, and he did this really cool exhibit when he was an artist in residence in Japan. And his whole thing is trying to make the abstract tangible. So climate change seems like a global issue, but he tried to do, like through his art, something that would make it seem like something that affected you on an individual level.
Did it? How?
So in the article I mentioned in the beginning, like there was this kind of game where you try to spin this rotor that would decrease the global temperature, and like if you did it by yourself it wouldn't work, but you kind of had to like rally with like strangers or like your family even, or just other museum goers, and if you all kind of turn the crank together, then it would lower the temperature like on the clock. So it kind of showed you that like it does take like putting yourself out there and like getting help to work towards a common solution, which I think is like really cool.
Ashley, tell us about your project.
Yeah, so we followed the story of Ollie, who is an oyster in the Chesapeake Bay, with the help of Dr. Tara Scully, in addition to some of the amazing people at Horn Point Lab. Basically, they're doing an oyster restoration project, and it's really helping the bay.
And what does the restoration project involve?
The restoration project involves planting baby oysters on the shells of oysters, and then planting those shells into the Chesapeake Bay. So far, they've planted 6.7 billion, which is incredible.
So it's really interesting because I've seen all these pieces, obviously, right? Because it's both a sort of restoration project, but it's also a way to use all these discarded shells. Who likes oysters? I love oysters. oysters. It's so good, especially when the cocktail sauce is hot. All right, take your...
Ladies, congratulations.
There you go. Congratulations, and have a seat. And the next category is the best use of science and data in environmental storytelling. This prize exemplifies explanatory storytelling, telling the story behind an innovation using the data to convey the story. And the nominees for best use of science and data are...
The finalists for the best use of science or data for Storyfest 2018 are Counting Calories, Count Your Carbon 2 by Catherine Baker, Columbia University. Consumers around the world are growing increasingly concerned with where their food comes from and how they can create both sustainable and healthful eating patterns. Catch the King Tut event saves tons of flood data by Courtney Brubaker, University of Virginia.
People around here are very interested in flooding and the water, and they want to know what's going on. They want to learn more, and they want to help. They want to help get this data, and so they're going out and they're collecting this data for us.
Can Atlantic salmon be restored in New York State? By Matthew Diefenbach, SUNY ESF.
However, by 1898, the salmon were no longer found in Lake Ontario and its tributaries. Pressures from overfishing, agriculture, construction of dams, deforestation, and pollution all contributed to the loss of this important resource.
Winds of Power by Jacob Meltzer, University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Economically, these installations will create thousands of jobs and help fuel local economies throughout the entire United States.
Corn ethanol is a renewable energy, but is it clean? By Laura Whaling, the George Washington University.
30% of the Oglala's water has already been used. And if trends continue, another 39% will be gone by 2060.
The Return of Olala by Ren Wilson, SUNY ESF.
In the Pu-Maka'ala Natural Area Reserve in Hawaii, a call that hasn't been heard in 16 years sounds out from within the foliage. The Hawaiian crow, also known as the alala, has finally returned to the islands of Hawaii after being declared extinct in the wild in 2002.
Best use of science and data, Sten. All right. So, telling the science story, as we've heard so many times, right, Jim, is so difficult and so important.
Okay, it's Counting Your Calories, Count Your Carbon 2. Catherine Baker, Columbia University.
Columbia University. Congratulations.
Great. New Yorkers, good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Terrific. Big graphics. Tell us about what this carpet is going to kill me here. Tell us, I'm sliding all over. Magic carpet. Tell us about your story.
So a lot of us are really concerned about what we're eating and also sustainability, but it came to me, these patterns and these choices are so unclear to the consumer, so what can we do about this? So I went out and looked at the research and saw what was in the science about this, and I realized it's extremely complicated. It depends on how it's grown, where it's grown, how it's transported, if it's frozen, how it's cooked, you know, the seasonability, and it's just, I wanted to bring attention to, we need more research into this so we can better understand what is a sustainable food choice so we can help move the planet forward in that way.
Terrific. Bravo. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Got Planet Forward in there. That's good.
How about that?
We're moving. There you go, sir. Our next award is the Best Scalable Innovation. This prize will go to the best story about a scalable as well as inspiring innovation to the greatest chance of changing the world within the next 5 years. The nominees are.
The finalists for Best Scalable Innovation for Storyfest 2018 are Community-Supported Agriculture, CSA, is the Future of Farming by Isabella Begru, University of Wisconsin-Madison.
We're human. We need to connect with real things in our life, not just with technology and machines. And so this is real, and it's real food coming from a real farm in a real local community. Someone real is growing it, you know, close by, and it's people resonate with it.
Cleaning Up the Coast, One Small Group at a Time by Harrison Gardner, SUNY Oswego.
The stuff that goes to the waste site, the problem with that is plastic is so light that the wind picks it up and then it drops it into a waterway like a river or a stream and then ends up back in the ocean, and then the ocean, of course, brings that back to our beaches and then carries it back out.
Water Crisis Inspires Innovative Solutions in Bangladesh by Mahfuzul Haq, University of Mississippi. The program encourages farmers to cultivate alternative crops like lentils, vegetables, and fruits, which consume less water and help farmers make more money. Period Products in the Environment by J. Jasmine Hurley, the George Washington University. From Waste to Wetlands, a small-town solution to water scarcity by Vanessa Moss, Sewanee, the University of the South. Outside of Atlanta, Georgia, over 263 acres of wetlands polish off the pharmaceuticals found in Clayton County's treated wastewater and recycle to 17.4 million gallons of water a day for the city. The Buzz About Elephants, Using Bees to Protect Crops by Haley Smalley, SUNY ESF. Elephants tend to avoid areas where bees are prevalent, seemingly because the sensitive skin around their eyes, ears, and trunk gives them a nasty predisposition towards painful stings.
And the winner is From Waste to Wetlands, a small town solution. Water Scarcity, Vanessa Moss, Sewanee.
So my story is about a research project taking place in my hometown at my university, seeing if we can use these constructed wetlands to polish off pharmaceuticals from wastewater. And if it's successful, as it has been on a large scale in cities like Atlanta, then small towns can implement this and start reusing their wastewater and help prevent them from suffering from water scarcity issues in the future.
What was the hardest part of doing this story and putting your brain around it and turning it into something?
Probably the connection to, like, the major difficulty is that this research has not been published yet, so I couldn't undercut what has yet to be published. I couldn't make it my story and kind of jump the gun on somebody else's story. So I had to bring in data from other places like Atlanta. But once that was gotten past, it was great.
Good for you. All right, picture time. Great. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Do I get one now?
Yep.
Oh, goody. Which is that? We're this one here, right?
Most ambitious.
Okay. Love this category. Most ambitious idea. A story about what today's dream teams are working on and for the future. And the nominees for Most Ambitious Idea are...
The finalists for the Most Ambitious Idea for Storyfest 2018 are New Gadget Helps Find Household Leaks, Save Water and Money by Emily Arnold, Georgetown University. Water leaks generally account for 15% of your monthly water bill. CoveCheck's newest product, H2Know, helps find those leaks to fix them. Is there still hope for a renewable microgrid in Puerto Rico? By Connor Elliott Nags, Elon University. Solar would be yet another attraction as well as another example of an island going green to become self-sufficient in its energy use. Roots and Shoots, as Told by the Mountain, by Terrius Harris, University of Mississippi.
A project that has not only built a successful example of sustainable tourism through Roots and Shoots cultural expeditions, but also has created youth environmental leaders that collaborate with forest villages around Kilimanjaro National Park to carry out action research projects that address conservation challenges and solutions, and raise public awareness to implement tribal policy changes within villages.
Beyond the Lion City, Singapore's Ground Up Initiative by Elaine Johnson, Yale NUS.
So for me as an architect, I'm always intrigued by this because if we plant a lot of this on the rooftop, hey, we solve our water cooling problem. But I'm not sure how to do it yet. So, yeah. Okay, you can have a try.
Sacred Spaces to Help Build Reverence for Our Planet by Macy Ludden, Syracuse University.
In a sense, our best chance at resetting the balance between humans and the environment is to treat the earth as sacred again.
Preventing Extinction. The Last Doesn't Have to Mean the End by Olivia Urbanski, Loyola University, Chicago.
This was probably the last time I'd see my buddy Sudan. How could people be so selfish to kill an entire population just for their horns?
Most ambitious idea, saving so much.
Okay. New gadget helps find household leaks, save water and money. Emily Arnold. Have you noticed there's not a single guy out there?
Yeah, guy.
He wasn't here. But he won. He wasn't here.
Oh, yeah, he won.
That's true, actually. Jordan was here.
It was
Or Jordan won.
Yes, Jordan won.
Congratulations. There you go. We have this. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about this technology, this ambitious idea.
Yeah, so it's a smart water meter called H2Know, and the carbon footprint currently of water leaks in the U.S. amounts to the carbon footprint of the entire country of Mexico. So this water meter has the potential to save us a lot of carbon emissions.
And what is it going to take to go from sort of on the drawing boards to a scalable idea? Like, where is it now? Is it in its early stages? Is it available? Are people buying this?
Yeah, so it's an early stage project. It won a climate award at CES this past February, and it's hitting the markets this summer. So hopefully this becomes a big thing that people want to buy.
You know, Ted, maybe this is something that people want to invest in. Who knows, you know? Okay, well, picture time. Congratulations.
Picture time. Good job.
All right, have a seat over here.
Emily.
Now let me see. I need to come
GW
back.
prize.
I need to come. Oh, we have one more. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
one more.
right.
One more.
Except we're out of chairs.
We'll bring it up.
Okay. Here we go. It's all yours.
Yes.
This is a home team, court prize.
It is. There is one specifically targeted towards GW students. So this prize goes to the best story, specifically from one of our GW students. The nominees are.
The finalists for the GW Prize for Storyfest 2018 are What Lessons Can the Women of Bangladesh Teach Us? By Maura Fallon. When we are fed one narrative by the systems in power and do not take the time to educate ourselves on it, then this is the problematic narrative we act upon. Barriers to Experience. Understanding Race and Professional Environmentalism by Matilda Kreider. Green 2.0, a research group that analyzes data on diversity in environmental organizations, found that as of April 2017, the full-time staffs of the top 40 environmental non-governmental organizations are on average 73% white. Endangered hawksbill sea turtles rebound in Belize by Connor Maldowney.
In fact, in 2002, fishing sea turtles for meat, shells, or any other reason became completely illegal in Belize.
The Tourist Role in the Cape Town Water Crisis by Madeline Pye. As the week progressed, I became an expert on how to wash my hair and body with the roughly 1.5 bathwater using buckets and washcloths to help. Where Does It Go? Composting at GWU by Alex Rubenstein.
Composting is kind of a very niche interest within sustainability.
I think it becomes a problem when our waste becomes out of sight, out of mind.
Why should you compost? It's because it's going to help save the earth. It's going to help save our ecosystem.
Every student that walks by and sees a composting program, I just hope that they kind of question it and start to think, well, maybe I could do that.
DC's New Waterfront, The Neighbor the Potomac River Needs by Laura Whaling.
Sustainable buildings are healthy buildings, and the healthy buildings are going to make happy people. And at the end of the day, it's about people that are living, working, playing in these environments.
All righty.
This is the final one, right?
This is the final one, and we're out of chairs, so whoever comes up here gets to stand.
All righty. Where Does It Go? Composting at George Washington University. Alex Rubenstein.
All right.
He gets to stand. You worked out well. How you doing?
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Alex. So tell us about composting at the university. What's happening? Every university here, right? You all are composting on campus. And these are often real laboratories for experiments and trying new things and pushing the envelope.
I read an article of GW Hatchett, and there's a new composting initiative on campus, and every Friday you can drop off your compost, and I think so far they probably collected over 1,000 pounds in the past 2 months. And I just knew it was a story I had to share, interviewed some people on campus, got my girlfriend to get a zip car and drive out to Maryland and go to the Maryland Prince George composting facility, and started my roommates to start composting. And yeah,
and told the story from there. Well, congratulations. Yeah. Let's take a picture, and then you can go not take your seat.
Well, that's fine.
All right. All right. Awesome. All right. Congratulations. All right. Now, all of our Storyfest winners have backpacks and travel materials, courtesy of our friends. So where are those? Here we go. Look at this. So the backpacks have been provided by Patagonia. The items inside the backpacks have all been provided by Lindblad. So we're setting you guys up a little bit so you can, get ready to rumble in style. And while you're just hanging on to that, now we have a very special, we like to think we're kind of, we have good friends. We have a video we want to share with you here from the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Alaska.
Oh, that's great.
Who visited us partway through the year. We have periodic salons where we get together 35, 40 people, smaller groups, and we have an opportunity to have conversation in a more intimate fashion. We connect it via live stream so that others can join us from our other schools if they choose. And we had a remarkable conversation. He was really moved. And he said, you know what? I want to make a video when the time comes for you to give this prize because you're going to be visiting our state. So this is the Lieutenant Governor, Byron Mallott of Alaska.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lieutenant Governor of Alaska, Byron Mallott, and we're here at the Mendenhall Glacier, just right in the city limits of Juneau, Alaska, our state capital. You can see the glacier behind me. I'm honored as Lieutenant Governor and on behalf of Governor Bill Walker to invite you to Alaska, to congratulate you upon your award, Storyfest winners, and to also give thanks to the Planet Forward program and its leadership, who will both be with you, but who have made all of this possible. Climate change is obviously real. I remember coming to Juneau with my wife in the early 70s, and the glacier you see behind me, not sure you can see the big rock face here, but it's essentially a peninsula. And when we would visit in the early 1970s, that entire area, except for a small protrusion at the very front bottom end, was completely covered by this glacier. And it is retreating at an ever-increasing pace. And that's the case with many, many glaciers throughout our state. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You will enjoy your visit to Alaska. You will learn. It will be hopefully a moment in your life that you will cherish and that will lead you to explore our world, our life, our peoples with a passion that is accelerated by being here. So thank you so much and congratulations.
How about that? How about that? All right, why don't we do a picture here with everybody? Can we get you guys all? You can leave your bags if you'd like, but everybody bring your Lindblad plaque, and let's stand up and we'll get together. And if you want to bring your winner trophy too, let's do that right here.
I'll just leave those. Okay.
And Sven, why don't we put you in the middle and Imani next to Sven?
Okay.
All right. We're going to take direction from our photographer here. What would you like us to do?
Squeeze in and come up.
Okay, come up.
Okay.
Yep.
When?
Right there.
Right there, all right?
Stand right here.
There we go, guys. Awesome. Looking good. Mostly right. Get it this way.
All right. Let me tell you a little bit about these plaques that you're holding, by the way. That glass that you're holding is forged from 100% post-consumer recycled glass. In its previous life, it was likely part of a salvaged window pane. so we're trying very much to practice what we preach here. We believe that that the bubbles or waves add to the beauty. This is done by Ravana Natural Designs, and they hope that you will enjoy this, and more to the point, so do we. So thank you all very much. Congratulations. We'll talk to you before Alaska, and we'll see you there.
Thank
all right. Sven, thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
So excited.
Yeah, that's great. You're going to have a blast.
Congratulations.
Great.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, I will let you all take your seats as I bring us into a close here. There's another group that I'd like to recognize. I don't know if they're still here. We are going to be doing a project at the School of Media and Public Affairs here with three of our student journalists, with three student journalists from West Virginia University as part of this effort to hear new voices. And they're going to be going and looking at the growth of natural gas pipelines and what the health implications are of some of those in some communities. Our students working with the students in West Virginia students coming here working with our students to talk to political and policy leaders here in Washington, so we hope this contributes to the cause. There are a lot of thank yous for these last couple of days, and I can't express them sincerely enough, but I'm going to try. To our sponsors who made this possible, certainly Sven Lindblad and Lindblad Expeditions. Thank you so much, Sven, for all that you've done and all that you've enabled and all that you will inspire when we go out. And I hope you can join us. That would be awesome. To Land O'Lakes, to Alaska Airlines. Alaska Airlines will be providing air travel for all of our students here, which is a remarkable thing. Discovery brought people here and has helped us in many ways. Monsanto, which has taken us out to meet some of the farmers. George Washington University. Without, obviously, GW, we couldn't have done this, and there's been financial support from many places. World Food Program US, Sweet Green, you're going to be eating their lunch in just a minute. Skanska, they are doing green building themselves, and they have helped us with this. We'll be doing a project with them. And the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. Remember, I mentioned a trip to Rome next year. So if those of you who are interested in storytelling, do it around food, submit it, talk to us. We'd love to take you to Rome as well. Our media partners include National Geographic and Mrs. Green's World, among other places. You've met our staff, many of them, and let me promise you that this is the product of months of work, months and months of work and organizing. So, Dan Reed, the intrepid director of Planet Forward, I don't know if Dan's in the room, but if he isn't, Dan Reed, Hannah Dale, Kim Ossie, there's Dan.
Appreciate it.
This is the team. Kim Ossie is our taskmaster. How many of you worked with Kim doing stories? Look at that. You're loyal followers. So she is the managing editor of planetforward.org. Hannah Dale, who's talked to Hannah? All right, lots have talked to Hannah. Hannah makes all of our trains run on time. Where's Jack Quinn? Where did Jack go? Oh, he had to leave. Jack had to leave, okay. Jack, Laura Whaling, where's Jack? Jack's there, he didn't leave. All right, Laura Whaling, where's Laura? Taking photos. She's still working. Chandra Furtado, who's over here, has been one of our interns. Maura Fallon. To our production team and the folks who helped make this work, Jeff, Moe, Amelia, the whole team from Scott Circle who put these pieces together. Angela, Madeline, and Mike Wise up in the booth. Thanks, guys, up in the booth for rolling all the videos and making the lights go up and down and on and off. To Jen Halpin and the whole team at the School of Media and Public Affairs and GW.
And how about a round of applause for Frank?
Let me just share a couple of closing thoughts, and then we can all go eat. You know, I've been a storyteller all my life. I studied American history when I was in school, and I saw and I learned what people can do and how people can shape things and how ideas can move humanity and the planet. And when I came here to GW, I thought, what if we could bring talent and passion and research and learning and all that we're doing together with media to leverage way beyond the walls of a university? And what if we could wrap our brains around complexity and have an attention span in ways that I'm sorry to say that many in media don't? Maybe we could actually do something here that we couldn't do anywhere else. And then I thought, what if we could bring people together from all across the country, all different backgrounds, all different disciplines? Because this issue of whatever you want to call it, sustainability, the future, how we're going to feed the planet, power it, all the rest, does not belong to any one person or any one group or any one economic class. This needs to be a big, full, inclusive conversation. And then what if we could incentivize the storytelling and then feed that virtuous cycle by going out and seeing and discovering more and capturing more? And so that's what we've done here. And, you know, the people we've met, people you've met over the last 2 days are amazing. I hope you're taking something from here that you can put to good use. I hope you're taking something from here that inspires you. We have huge challenges. The clock is ticking in very many places. But you've also heard here that we are doing and can do something about it. And connecting ideas and connecting motivation and connecting people so that we can do it more and better and faster is what it's all about. I brought someone to a class a couple of years ago, and she was one of the president's top aides on climate assessment and adaptation. And I swear to God to you, the first words out of her mouth when she came to class were, "We don't have a science problem, we have a communication problem." It was Kathy Jacobs. And that is what we've got. So that is, you know, we have lots of problems and lots of challenges, but this is one part of it. So thank you, thank you, thank you all for coming. Congratulations to you all. I look forward to traveling with you to Alaska. Don't push me overboard. The water's way too cold for that. Sweet green lunch is where?
Salads upstairs.
Salads are upstairs, all very edible and recyclable. Special thanks again to our Planet Forward Advisory Board, to Bruce and Betty and everybody else who've been, and Jim and everybody, Quentin, who've been with us throughout. Special thanks again to Sven. Enjoy your lunch. Go safely. Help us move the planet forward. Talk to us about working with us in the future. Thank you all very much.